It's Tuesday afternoon here in beautiful Erina, Australia, the site of the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. A little eucalyptus snack for the native Australian koalas. No koalas here, though, in the Erina ice world. It is the venue for these championships, and we are heading to the business end of the competition. Our feature match today, Korea versus China in the women's event, session 12. Hans Raunlab here with Sander Rova. Good afternoon to you, Sander.
Good afternoon, Hans.
Well, we're almost at the end of the round robin phase. Let's take a look at the standings as the teams jockey for playoff position. Korea and China have both already qualified, but first place is at stake in this game today. Japan's at 3 and 4. Hong Kong also on 3 wins. New Zealand still mathematically in the hunt. Australia has not won a game yet, and they're looking for their first win tonight against the Kiwis. Let's meet Team Korea. At lead is Youngmi Kim. At second is Hyun-Young Kim. At third is Kyung-ai Kim. And the skip is Eun-jung Kim. The alternate is Kim Cho-hee, and the coach is Min-jung Kim.
For Team China this afternoon, at lead we have Yan Hui. At second, Yao Minghui. At third and vice is Yan Chin-di, and the team is skipped by Yang Ilun. Alternate is Mong Chu, and coach, the Alberta-born Marcel Rock.
So it should be a dandy as we move inside the Erina Ice Arena. Teams just completing their preparations pre-match. Okay, Team China's ready. And you'd have to say in this tournament, Sander, as Eun-jung Kim, the Korean skip, takes a position that China at 7-1. China will be playing the Yellow Rocks this afternoon, Korea the Redstones. Pretty much the surprise package of the tournament. A relatively younger team from China, but they're at 7-1. And they've got a chance this afternoon with a win to give themselves a shot at finishing top of the table. Here is Chinese lead, Yan Hui.
Yeah, they would have to win this game to get that top spot, but they've done well. Yeah, they're impressive. I'm sure they're looking to get some revenge over that first game where they did lose to Korea. That is their only one loss. So
it's a double round robin in the women's event, so each team plays each other twice in the round robin phase, and then tomorrow we're moving on to the medal round. Let's meet Korean lead, Youngmi Kim.
yeah, so because they are playing a double round robin, they play 2 games and get hammer or last on advantage in one of the 2 games. So there's no T-draw, no draw shot challenge before the game to determine the last on advantage. You just simply get one each.
In this match, it's Team Korea with last rock in the first end, that advantage. Nice corner guard there, so Korea stating their intentions. They're looking to go on the offense right away. Yan Hui. Just biting that blue 12-foot circle.
Yeah, they were wanting a guard, but it slips a bit too deep, which means that Korea can make a play on it and try and play the hit and roll here and bring the play over towards the corner guard.
They'd like to save that shooter if they can. Big roll, lots of spin. I'm not sure if it's going to stay on the rings. No, it's not, unless it spins back massively. Clips the sideboard, and that comes out of play. The playoff format that will be used at this championships as we meet Chinese second stone Yao Minghui. The Olympic playoff format, which means the team that's ranked first will play the team that's ranked fourth in one semifinal. And the team that is ranked second will play the team that's ranked third in the other semifinal. Semifinal winners advance to the gold medal match. Semifinal losers play in the bronze medal match. But this year there is something to play for in that bronze medal match, as 3 countries, member associations, will qualify for the World Women's Curling Championship from this event.
Yeah, that will take place in North Bay, Canada.
There's Korean second, Seon Kim. North Bay in the province of Ontario. It's about a 5-hour drive north of Toronto.
I think most curling players like to go to Canada to play.
There's that roll to the wing. Nice shot.
You might say the game was invented in Scotland and adopted by the Canadians.
Certainly a lot of curling strength, a lot of love for the game in Canada, but that love of the game is now spreading worldwide to places like China.
Yeah, Bin Yuang, already world champion on one occasion for China. Liu Rei placed 4th at the Olympics in Sochi. I mean, they're up there fighting for medals every year.
Certainly are. Both of those teams that Sander just mentioned are preparing to compete in the Olympic qualifying event, which will be held about 4 weeks' time in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. 2 places at stake for the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics that will be starting in 3 months. Sliding deep in the house. They would have liked that at the tee line. It's coming to rest back 8. Korea with a little something going here, though. Korea, of course, being the host nation for the upcoming Winter Olympics. And Jung Kim and her teammates are the Korean representatives at the games. Zheng Qindi. Third player for China. Love an inside roll. Just sits there in the 8-foot. Young-A Kim. That's the hit. Very slight roll to the inside. And Korea lies 2. Kyung-A had a sensational game yesterday against Japan.
So Yan Qindi, same shot really. The hit and roll in behind the guard in front of the other red stone. Doesn't quite get there this time either. So Korea will again have a chance to make a play here and sit 2.
Stone is creeping ever closer to that center guard, but still wide open.
Yeah, so this time Korea thinking, well, we can make the roll in behind the center and sit 2 buried. Perhaps have a 3 on the scoreboard in the first end.
Kyung-Hae Kim. Korean third.
A good option here is to roll far.
Well, there's the roll. Just pops out the other side. Nearly stuffed it behind that guard, but chance here for a bailout for China if they can make the double takeout and kill both of these stones.
Yeah, it was kind of the worst spot to end up in there. You either wanted that in behind the guard or rolled it further away so the double wasn't on. This is just, you know, catch us here high and both red should go.
And there's a little plan B if the stone over curls. It's a very short roll to get behind the center guard as well. So a couple of options here for China, but the only bad thing to happen is either clean miss or jam the stone at the back. Here's Chinese skip Jiang Yilun. This one's got a lot of moving to do. Gets a piece, removes one, but rolls out herself. So good attacking opportunity here for Korea. Center guard is very inviting. And that's where they'd like it to stop, right there. Thank you very much, Kyung-Hae.
하우스 들어가서 좀 죽긴 죽어.
这样大吗？858，正好就是9秒。
Korean skip Eun Kim.
좀 있어 보여.
Team is from Wisong from Korea.
Okay, so no need to come too deep here. No need to put this right on the pin, because then China would just come after and sit on top and close down the scoring area for you. So trying to just put this a couple of feet short of the tee line. Just about there.
Good weight. Would have liked that to curl another rock or so. Probably a corner hidden. But still a chance for China to make a play on it. Good look at it there.
他下线的话要打定。行，等了10秒，稍微收一点力量。行，这一点。打外角10秒够吗？我觉得等会儿我看一眼，这一点够了吧？我觉得稍微来一点吧，因为现在就挡一点，这一点10秒收一点。行，行。
Sander Jiang Yilun will just have to watch out for the dreaded overcorrection. She was a little full with that first one. This one's closer to the guard, and she certainly can't afford to roll this one inside. If she crashes the center guard, it's a free draw for 3.
Yeah, definitely the worst thing you can do here. And you're right, when you throw one wide on your first one, you tend to correct.
OK，
再来
一点。OK， 打掉就行。啊。
Just creeping the brush out a hair width. So when she got in the hack, she thought, that's not very much ice.
Yeah, yes. Either you shrink the ice a little bit and throw this the same way, or you, you know, take less ice and throw it a little tighter. Can't correct both.
No, that's right. Well, that's well by the guard. Has she got contact? Yes, she does, but she is going to roll away.
Yeah, perhaps just a little bit safe with that one. Like you said, didn't really want to crash on the guard.
Yeah, you don't like dropping 2, but you sure don't want to drop a 3.
送了一点儿，但是送的不大，力量小。那点再收点力量也可以。
So now it's really the same shot for Eun Kim. Just has to hit the paint. Sweepers are on it right away. They think it's light. Now they dial it back. They're pretty happy. No panic required on this one. Comfortably into the rings, in fact, right into the 4-foot. So it is a score of 2 for Korea in the first end. They're off to a great start. They're unbeaten, and they continue to roll along after one end of play. Korea 2, China no score.
잘 나갈 것 같잖아, 이쪽은 그래도. 좀 선예일 거 하고는 별로.
아니, 3년.
Welcome back inside the Erina Ice Arena in Erina, Australia. Hans Raunov here with you, and my colleague Sander Rolvig covering women's competition this afternoon at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. Korea versus China. Korea comes into this game with a perfect 8-0 record in the round-robin phase. China is at 7-1. Only blemish on their record so far is the loss to Korea.
我感觉可以等一等啊。他顶线了，他顶线。哈尔，你先去吧，进来，哈尔加你，够近啊！哇，进来不擦了，擦一擦吧，哈尔，哈尔，哇，不擦了。
Corner guard there for China. That one really high and long, however, so it'll be interesting to see if Korea either chooses to deal with that stone or just leave it. Youngmi Kim. A little deeper in the house, I think, than they would have liked. It comes to rest just butting the forefoot. So China will try to eliminate both of them. Yan Hui. This one's really curling. Gets a piece. Goes across the top, rolls away. Great, just thinking that one maybe just a little bit soft on the release.
내 거 좀 살렸대.
Seon Kim. Her team nickname is Sunny. It's a nice sunny day here in Australia. Covers about half of the shot rock.
感觉有点加过，因为往上给的。
근데 니가 좀 세게 나왔어, 괜찮았어.
我感觉这面得13.8。
See from the shooter's end. Can't really throw a takeout at the shot rock now, so China will draw up to it. Maybe bounce it back a foot.
Yeah, the good thing about maybe tapping this one back a little bit is just opening the button area. And if you can lie a shot, it's something Korea might come after. If you just play the freeze, you never know. Korea might just throw a guard on you, and you have to start breaking it open. This one building up way short, though, I think.
Sweepers carrying it as far as they possibly can, but you're right, Sandra. This one is going to come to rest about a foot and a half short of the rings, guarding the shot. And we see the Korean bench, and here's Min Jun Kim. Korean coach trying to keep warm. Jo-hee Kim, alternate player to her right, and to her left, Peter Gallant, the other Korean coach.
Father of Brett Gallant, who plays second stones for Brad Gushue. One of the, perhaps the best team in the world right now, some would say.
Defending world champions, and they've got their eyes on trying to qualify as Canada's Olympic representatives in the upcoming Canadian Olympic curling trials.
이 돌이 그런 것 같아.
너무 셌나?
그리고 많이 공부한 나왔어.
Here we see Chinese coach Marcel Rock suddenly attentive, making some notes.
너무 안 좋고 잘 살아갔잖아요. 이거.
나는 끝에 웨이트 죽으면서
What might he be analyzing?
비슷하게 볼 줄 알았는데 아예 그냥 이렇게 맞는데
Let's
밖으로.
see. Alternate or Chinese other coach Ming Xu. Jiao Mingwei trying to blast open a path to the shot rock, but she just nudges that one a little bit full. That's right.
给的，滑的，给的大。
Yeah, that's
Storm clouds are brewing on the horizon for Team China.
yeah. You really can't afford misses like that at the second position. That should be your bread and butter, opening up the house for your backhand. Should at least peel one guard. If you can't get the double, at least one.
我突然想，我也反过来那平时。
And big problems for China here if Korea puts up a guard.
反正你要是收。
Jung-A Kim trying to do exactly that. We're in the second end. This game is scheduled for 10.
Yeah, but you know, interesting fact, Korea's been so superior, they actually haven't played past the 8th end since the first draw.
Really, that's a stat. Very impressive play by the team. In this tournament, they are the defending Pacific Asia champions,
Yeah,
so they're conserving energy.
yeah, you can say that. They've probably played the least amount of ends of any team out here. Yeah, only in first game it was versus Japan. They were tied coming home with the last stone in the 10th end against them, but after it's been easy cruising.
Zhang Xindi now trying to rattle them around. Kills a couple, but there's still 3 stones up defending that shot.
Yeah, it takes 2 stones out, but leaves 1, so
It's a reasonable trade.
yeah, but another one's coming, Hans.
Korea trading back. Gonna need to be a 3-for-1 as opposed to a 2-for-1 at some point for Team China.
Yeah, steal might be on the cards for the Koreans. They did steal in the first 2 ends versus China in their first matchup. It was a 6-end game, 9 shots to 3. We're hoping for a bit more action than that today, I think.
Just glancing off that stone at the front of those pile of guards and leave their own sitting just short of the rings.
한 마리 좀 도는가? 어? 한 마리 좀 도는가? 아까 테이크
What she does by repositioning the yellow rock takes away
这俩都清开了。
any thought that they might have had about a straight run back.
有一个弧的距离，OK， 打到这儿，稍微大一点力量这个，这儿，我稍微送一点抓，
Looks to me, Sander, like she'd like to hit about half of this, go across the top of the red and try to run that red back into the pile and maybe pick off the shot rock.
底下，哇，下线了，下线烟花，下线，OK， 卡头。
Gets the action, doesn't drive it towards the shot, but opens it up. Nice shot.
Yeah, much better.
먼 거는 또 별로인 것 같아.
Still have some work to do, though.
I was saying on our broadcast yesterday, what involved this Korean team, the first time that I saw this team play was actually
똑같이도 나쁘진 않아.
in 2014 at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships in Kurizo, Japan, and Sander was also at that event. And the first thing that amazed me was how confidently and aggressively they played. They're just fearless.
Well, you keep making all your shots. No wonder you're confident.
Strike fear into your opponents, really.
This guard needs to be in place. I'm a little surprised they ended up playing the in turn here. They've been throwing the guards on the out turn the whole end. You see this one pulling up a little short. The line is still pretty good, but there might be support through those guards. In between.
Yeah, Ken Jiang Yilun thread the needle on the outturn side now. Is there a hole? There, you got to look at it. Right down the tightrope, right up the center. Maybe the smallest of gaps to navigate, but it's there. Just.
웨이트 있으면 조금 더 살아오다 그때 꺾이면 비슷하게 될 것 같긴 한데.
Just fine tolerances. That stone curls another half a centimeter, and this shot's not there. Well, this should be exciting. Trying to go right up the middle, right between those two red stones along the center line.
Yep, this is a tough shot here.
Has to get by the top one first. No, just clips it. That wasn't far away, but moves it off the center line. And does she stick around? Just out of the rings.
Yeah, stop sweeping at the end there just to catch a bigger piece of the guard and move it up.
여기 섰을 때 이 정도 라인이잖아.
Sticking to the in-turn for the guard. Makes sense considering she just threw it, so maybe just a small adjustment on the brush. Good target.
Yeah, I feel like if she can play the guard here, it's pretty tough for China to avoid giving up a steal. You could come around the guard here, just half checked, and stagger the three rocks along the center line and make Korea look at two, but just keeping it simple here.
Sweeping it to curl. They want to close that gap up. And they do. Very well swept. Maybe even overswept it a hair. Have they left just an edge of it to pick it out?
이쪽이 좀 보일 것 같아서 더 옆쪽으로 닦으면.
And Jung's pretty happy with that, I would say.
근데 나쁘진 않은 것 같아. 이쪽에 딱 멈췄어. 근데.
Yeah, Kyung-hae's saying, yeah, we overswept it. Not really there on the in-turn to pick it out.
它不这面场地偏直一点，下不到这儿，下不来，关键是，而且站位还在3区。我找一个呢，
There are no good options here for China.
I think the run back on the guards is the only good option.
真的下不来啊，这边。能下来吗？这边？我这个球不太，我不想找一个呢。
The yellow run-in from the corner guard is not on because it'll hit the stone in the front.
拿这个找，拿这个找 ，OK。
So, as Sander identified, really about all you've got is to try and run your opponent's stone in to try and pick that stone off. You never like running in your opponent's stone, but you got no choice here.
Yeah, they were looking at the draw. That just seems very tough to get there, and you do also risk over curling and topping up another red stone, perhaps. This is the higher percentage shot, I'd say. Just run it in, try and get contact, and hope Hope the guard you run in doesn't stick around. Get the blank in, retain hammer. Try again next end.
It's close. Oh, what a fantastic shot. What a beauty by Jiang Yilun. Angle raise run in, picks it off, rolls away, blank end. Fantastic shot. All those rocks flying. Look at this. Great read by Jiang Jindi in the house. Gets the angle just right across the top and enough momentum to pop it out of the rings. It's a blank. One more time from the top. Across the face. Alert sweeping from Jindi, taking it out of the house. Tough, tough shot, but executed perfectly. Blank end. China will retain the hammer. After 2 ends of play, it's Korea 2. China no score. Lead stones in the third end. 10 ends scheduled. China blanked the second end. And Sander, wow, what a great shot. You know, it was for a blank, so it's not like a scoring shot where you make a shot like that and you come away with a 2 or 3 point end. But in the context of the game, that was a hugely important stone there from Jiang Yilun.
Yeah, I think so. You give up a steal there, you're down 3. That's what happened in the first game they played. They were down 3 after 2 and never came back. So, important shot to stay in the game.
哇，力量啊！哇，还得再等一等，我感觉下线啊！哇，还得再等，哇，量有点大，我感觉量大点儿，但是肯定进不去啊。我感觉进不去，进不去，进不去，真进不去，好球！
Corner guard is a much more useful place for China this time.
叔叔，我感觉给大点比上把。嗯，我看着是给。
Here's Youngmi Kim.
저거 잡혔어.
경희가 와야 돼.
기다렸다, 기다렸다.
좀 기다려. 일단
넷.
아니야. 경희 아니야. 아니야. 더 줄여야 될 것 같은데 야는. 더 많이 밀려오지 않아.
Hoping that it stays in the free guard zone, but it doesn't. It slides into the rings. Small error there from Youngmi. Chance for China to make a play on these stones and double them off. It's got one, but stuffs it. Leaves the Korean stone on the, just biting the front floor.
还是不掉线，直吗？是不是直？좀 두껍게 맞고. 네. 웨이트 노멀.
As we head towards the medal round here in Erina, Australia, I think it's fair to say, Sander, that it's been 21 years since there's been an international curling competition in Australia. Last time was in Sydney. We're about an hour north of Sydney and Erina. But you'd have to say that from the players' perspective, from really every perspective, everybody's had a great time here and the conditions have been excellent.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, and I think everyone has. I mean, right on the beach, and it's sunny, and yeah, it's perfect.
What's not to like, really?
Yeah.
Curling in Australia, and the Australian women's team is on the ice. They're playing their trans-Tasman rivals from New Zealand in this draw. But I know the Australian Curling Federation is looking to build a bit of a legacy on the back of this event. They've done some junior training. They've had some competitions. And they're really hoping that from this event will help promote the growth of the sport here in Australia. Little bump there. That was about 3 inches from perfect. Just fractionally heavy. In addition to curling here in Erina, there's curling in Melbourne, in Australia. Also in Perth, in Western Australia. It seems to be, of all the locations in Australia, the area where there's the most happening right now.
See Keon-Kei pointing up in the air, calling the small bit heavy. And of course, the harder you throw a rock, the straighter it goes. So that's valuable information for the skip in order to predict the line and the curl.
Yeah, good team communications, and the good teams and the great teams. One characteristic that they've always got is that they're exceedingly honest. If you've thrown it not great, they immediately say, I threw it not great, and then your teammates can do something with that information. Yeo Ming-wei. China trying to get something going with the hammer. Sneaks by the guard, nudges the Korean shot, pushes it just to the other side of the guard. Watch how close this comes to that front stone. No. Great shot. Risk of a jam here for Korea. They hit this stone on the brush side.
那也收点了吗？收了。但是我感觉应该再收一点。啊，狂跑！狂跑！ 기다려!狂跑! 건들지 마! 죽고 있어요! 건들지 마! 안 놀고 있어. 그냥 안 놀고 있어. 같은데.
Well by the guard. Will it jam? Oh, just sneaks it by.
웨이트가 너무 무서워서 그냥 기다리는 게 나은 것 같아.
Nice shot.
끝에 많이 죽었어요 이거 웨이트.
Korea lies 3.
그래도 헬보다 센 거 같지? 네. 4 나왔어.
Kyung-Hae Kim.
근데 범퍼.
Her team nickname is Steak.
微微有点逼。试试来啊！试试来吧。开。行。我刚才看他那个大力有一点点掉线。嗯。
Jiang Xun-di.
10秒5。
Really a test of nerve for Team China, trying to hit and roll when you know there's a bunch of opponent stones in the rings. Gets a bit of action on the shot block and pops in front of it. That's not a bad result. Even though the Korean stone is still shot. She's pushed it out from behind the guard, and she's left her own sitting right in front of it. Nice brushing there by the Chinese front end, and they just park their own right in front.
근데 일로 나오면은 럼백 하면은 너무 쉬울 것 같아.
아, 럼백? 웨이트 보고 와줘.
네. 끝에 내려오려면 그냥.
Well, clearly not scared to leave any opposition stones in the house here. Korea is lying 1, so they figure, well, no need to remove it from play. We can just draw into the house here, sit 2. So, confident call.
Saying earlier, this team is pretty fearless. Sweeping it as far as they can to try and avoid a hit and roll or double takeout. Kind of like that about 6 inches further along, but that's a pretty good shot there from Kyung-Hae Kim.
再来一个吧。行。还有10秒吗？对，如果下线的话，这样来也可以。我上把送一个，这个我还是送一个。10秒。对，这样。
Plan A is a hit and roll on the shot rock. Plan B, if it overcurls, would be to graze the guard and roll it away. But at this point, they really do need to do something with the shot rock. It sounds like it's on the guard, and it is. And sadly, no bonus action on any stone in the rings. It just goes
근데 타이트하게 들어오는 게 아니라
rolling on through. So
일단 이거 가는데 좀
once
더
again, trouble for China.
지금 거의 조금 넉넉해서 여기거든. 근데 오면서 떨어지는 게 많이 들어.
Change
그때 하우스 들어와서 도는 것 때문에 똑같이 잡고 그냥 오는 거.
So Korea line
거의 영미
Two.
올 때까지만 해도 거의 하우스에서는
네, 언니 안쪽 보여주는 것보다는 바깥 보여주는 게 더 나을 것 같아요. 안쪽만 가리면 될 것 같아. 웨이트는 셋인데
타이트하게. 일단 라인이야.
셋 타이트하게.
응.
다쳐. 끝에 가서 많이 눕는다.
once again, it's the intern guard. It's a skip when you know you're throwing guards. You're having a pretty good day.
기다려. 기다려야 돼. 6, 7. 라인 선영이.
4, 5. 선영이 기다려봐. 아직 기다려야 돼.
웨이트 몇이야?
4, 5. 라인이 오버콜이야. 기다려줘 그냥. 기다려야 돼.
This one's a little toasty though. It's going to slide into the rings. Just short.
얼만데?
많이 잡았잖아요.
It's a pretty good shot.
6구.
이거 밀리지 않게.
이번에. 6구.
Yeah, starting to get tough for China to bring that Yellowstone into play.
리리즈 약하게 하긴 했는데 거의 7? 그러면 7?
Only 2 stones left, and
실화냐?
having to move both the reds is just not going to be possible, I think. So
肯定还是射哈。
we're going to have to try and set up for a skip stews here,
OK。
meaning Chinese skip will have to score with both her rocks.
So is she looking at the yellow-red run back now with an idea of maybe playing a slash
没有那么射。
angle raise on the yellow on her second one, Sandra, or do you think she's just making a play at the shot rock?
I think it's just a draw here through the port. Try and sit maybe on the corner of the shot stone.
This one's really moving as well. Are they by? No, they make contact with that guard and they leave it sitting in the front of the 12-foot. So Korea lies 2.
Yeah, a little shy for weight. Also a little bit tight for line. A little bit of both.
이거 가드로 하면 될 것 같은데. 스테이 하는 게 나을 것 같은데. 가드 하는가?
지금 거기 잡았지?
요 정도만 잡으면 되잖아.
I think Korea's just going to throw guard here.
이것만 막으면 될 것 같아.
Yep. Kyung-Hae saying that's the danger rock. We have to guard that one. Stone that's right on the center line, the yellow stone on the 12-foot.
아닌 것 같지 않아? 아니야, 차는 게. 그런 거 쎄?
세게 쳤는데. 근데 지금 여기 안 닦으면 엄청 많이 죽어.
자꾸 죽는다 그래서 자꾸 세게 조금 넉넉하게 차긴 차는데 나도 조금 넉넉한 건 알았는데 그만큼 센 줄은
If
몰랐어.
they
일단
are
라인.
able to guard that stone, it'd be really hard for China to score.
지금은 너무 가까이는 별로야.
Yeah, that would leave Jiang Yilin really nothing other than playing a tap on the other yellow stone in front of the rings. Tough shots.
약간 넉넉해.
좀 가까이 갈 것 같아.
넉넉해.
기다렸다가 좀만.
여기 밖으로 닦아야 돼, 밖으로.
웨이트는 둘, 셋. 언니야 많이 와야 돼.
Sunny and pancake on the brushes.
여기 최대한 많이 가야
언니야
된다.
나와, 언니야.
가.
웨이트 가까이 가.
this shouldn't be a tough shot for the skipper, but these needs to be made. You hate to miss a simple guard when you've your team's set you up for a good end. This one actually does undercurl, and he leaves that Yellowstone top of the 12-foot.
Yeah, there is a play there on the outturn side. She can still tap that.
Yeah, still only for 1 point though.
It is.
传一个这点小不小？
Worst case result here for the Koreans is China scores 1. So all things considered, pretty good. And this is not a gimme.
No, it's tough. I think
这点 OK 吗？
you know, the dead raise, the dead tap ups, one of the more difficult shots in curling. Just have to be so accurate with both line and weight.
Just to promote that stone about 4 feet, full into the red 4-foot circle to count 1.
线路可以，18，哇，可以的，哇，外侧线，8，7分 ，OK 啊，正常下线，Hurry，
Now it's making a move. Have they left it too late? Are they by the center guard? No, they feather it. A sweeping error and a costly one for Team China. And it's a steal of 2 for Korea. 2 red it is. So, bit of a mistake there by the Chinese. They let that stone curl, and it over curls, wrecks the guard, and Korea steals 2, and they go firmly in control of this contest after 3 ends of play. It is Korea 4, China no score.
저거 내 위치 가려면. 내 위치 가려면 웨이트 얼마 나와야 되지 않을까? 그럼 내가 죽어 많이? 많이 죽어? 1-3대 거기까지.
마지막 거는 그래도 나쁘지 않은 것 같아. 마지막 건 괜찮은 것 같아요.
아니 자꾸 좀 이상.
Youngmi Kim gets us underway in end number 4. So far, Korea pitching a shutout. They're leading this one 4-0. Front button, nice shot.
Yeah, well, you know, Korea has the highest force efficiency in the field, meaning they're very good at not allowing their opponent scoring 2 or more. Actually, they've forced their opponent in 83% of the ends they've played so far. So more than 8 out of 10 ends, they forced their opponent to the single point.
That is mighty good playing. Yan Hui at 79% so far in shooting percentage terms for the match. Throws the corner guard.
그냥 05 할까?
일단 05로 시작해.
Yes, this Korean team has been so impressive right through this week. There's Youngmi Kim, 92% at lead. Very nicely played.
괜찮은 거 같아? 잘 나가는 거 같지 근데 얘가 잘 나가는 거 같지? 라인도 좀 많이 뻗는 거 같아 얘가
个定可甩都可以啊 OK 10秒 OK
So we're going to make a play on the stones in the house here. You'd wonder if you're 4 down, maybe you start playing a little more aggressive. perhaps just come straight around that corner guard, or at least bring the weight down. Maybe just tap the stones instead of removing them from play. Makes a great one, though.
Yep, double takeout. Korean stones fly out of the rings, and China lies one. But as you said, Sander, I was just going to ask you that same question. If you're Zheng Yilun, how do you generate some offense? Because so far what you've been trying really isn't working.
Yeah, no, you could try and push those Korean stones back to the back of the house. Just keep more stones around. It'd be harder then for Korea to clear the Chinese rocks with a bunch of stones lying in the back. Sometimes you just have to use your opponent's stones for your own good.
79% so far in the match for Seon Young Kim. Leaving rocks in play adds to the risk, but at this point, 4 down, you have to accept that risk, really, don't you?
Yeah, and I think Korea is going to be pretty happy with the only 2 stones in play here. Makes it really easy for them.
Young tidying things up behind the house. Yao Mingwei, 71% so far for the match.
你再看力量，我感觉还行。
只是力量
Of course, by playing the way they've done, they will open up the scoring area. They come around the corner. Korea might peel the guard, and they will have a chance of scoring too.
要出去了吧，别擦了。
哇！
This one's sliding deep in the rings, but sticks around. It's shot.
好像告诉你，我感觉还行那时候。
就有点。
对，我有时候感觉还行。
这多大？啊？多大？
마코야 여기까지 와도 돼. 웨이트는 더 보러 갈게.
Yeah, so I think they can see a piece of the yellow, and so deep in the house, the guard's pretty long. Should be quite possible to come around here and just tap it out of play.
Flirting with the guard, by it. Sticks around, but one of those stones in play that we spoke about. Maybe something that Team China can draw to or sit in front of.
Yeah, Korea they were hoping to roll a bit further towards the center line in the open.
Yao Mingwei.
上马力量。
Nice smooth slide and delivery there.
5六。
It wasn't necessary for Korea to sit around, but I guess they want to try and keep 2 counters in the house, so they might force China to score their single point and then get the last on advantage and take full control of the game.
China really wants to get this one on the ring somewhere, but it's going to come up short.
Well, still usable.
It is 2 corners now.
Yeah, we'll see Korea peel the top one, and that guard will remain. It's the right tolerance. We use that word a lot in curling. Just the right miss. The wrong miss there would be to throw it too hard and, pump through the house.
Kyung-A Kim at 88%. She was in the 90% plus range last night against Japan's Satsuki Fujisawa. Having another good game this afternoon. And that clear is perfect. We'll keep an eye on the other matches for you. As we keep an eye on the teams jockeying for position in the playoffs. Zhang Xindi, 67%. So Kyung-A Kim with a clear statistical edge at the 3rd position so far. It's only the 4th end, however. Shaves the guard. That's a pretty nice shot there from Xindi. And we see that Chinese shot perfectly guarded, so Eun Kim just electing to rip the corner guard. Just tickles it, but that's all she really needed to do. Moves it out of play.
这面14秒也够了吧？我感觉差不多。刚才一样的量就行。嗯。给了1点65，这比长发小点。45，这俩小点。
So no guards now for the Chinese, so they're going to try to use a stone in the rings as a guard. Trying to draw around that red stone in the 12-foot.
Okay, good sweeping.
Full 4-foot, but has she left a double?
Yeah, I think she has. Did not get much curl as they were hoping for there.
세네이트 할때 그 뭐지? 스위치로 닦으니까 더 뻗는데.
With a 4-point lead, I would imagine that Eun Jung Kim's first priority will just be to remove that shot and get a bit of a roll. The double would almost be a bonus as opposed to the first plan. Close. Gets the roll.
Actually overcurls a wee bit.
Brings the play close to that Chinese stone.
A little too safe. I was a little surprised she didn't throw just a bit more weight there and just go hard for the double. You know, playing so well this week, and I know she can throw it harder. And she's, as a first skip, even she's quite deadly with the upweight shots.
Yes.
Not all skips are.
No. Zhang Yilun. Well, shooting percentage is reflective of the degree of difficulty of shots that she's had to play. 38% so far in the match.
Yeah, she's had some tough shots, but in all fairness, she hasn't quite excelled at them either. This one, though, really nice. Makes sort of a double here. Rolls, leaves a flat line of 2 yellow rocks. Actually punches that one red stone in behind the other yellow on the wing. Pretty perfect.
Absolutely. Get a look at the action. Watch the shot coming behind towards us. Just tucks in behind that yellow stone. So as our broadcast colleague again, Swisson would say, leaves a back guard behind that yellow shot. And China now with something going. They desperately need a deuce here if they can get it.
Yeah, no heroics for Eun Jung Kim here. Just make the open hit, and it should be a pretty straightforward shot for 2 for Team China.
Eun Jung at 96%.
Oh,
she's got a piece, but I think she's going to spill. Just pushes it out of the rings. That was a bit sketchy. So, China now with their chance to cash. Needs to draw just full 12-foot. They'll get themselves back onto this game, get themselves on the scoreboard. They've got 1 in the bank already. was set up, as you said, Sander, by that lovely last shot that Yilun threw. Really important, though, that they cash this second point in.
我觉得力量 OK 啊，擦一擦，力量，我感觉有点小呢。
Yao Mingwei, Yan Hui on the brushing. Need full 12. Shindi comes out to join. No panic necessary. That one eases full into the 8-foot, so China is on the board in a positive way with a pair. So after 4 ends of play, it's Korea leading it, but China closes it up. It is now Korea 4, China 2.
其实灯的力量也还不是特别的小。
给的啊，灯小给的。
2，现在看力量，
看力量。哇
！3区2，可以往3区擦吗？能。往3区擦。哇哦！Hurry，往3区擦没问题。Hurry，大姚 Hurry。OK， 好球，好球，这边。好球。
这边还是不太流线。
웨이트만.
여섯.
기다려줘.
6, 7.
5 좋아. 라인을
6, 7. 8. 8. 이거 좀 살아가요.
기다려.
8까지 할 것 같아. 8, 9.
세다.
네. 8, 7.
아니야,
붙고
그냥
있어요.
붙는 게 나을 것 같아.
붙고 있어. 7.
라인은 아니야, 그냥 놔둬.
7.
그냥 놔둬.
7.
됐어.
시작.
Korea now with last rock.
걸린 줄 알았어.
Here in the 5th.
걸린 줄.
2 up. That one is perfect. Nice come around there from Youngmi Kim.
6区啊！下往外侧大姚。哇，
我力量大。
5、6。哇，力量也大吧？力量也大吧？
力量不大。
力量不大吗？
不大。
力量不大吗？磕出来了。哎。
Well, that one is pretty good as well. Perfect corner freeze. Very nice.
들어가는 것 같아 이제. 시점 좋구나.
So game on.
네. 하초할까?
When Young Kim saying, okay, you're going to freeze on me, I'm going to freeze on you. Young Mi Kim now being asked to follow that one right down. Want to bring it all the way up to the face of that yellow stone to get a bit of contact. Overcurl slightly. Nice weight, though, in a good location. This is looking a bit like mixed doubles.
Yeah, good angles. If you ever play hit on that red stone now, the yellow is kind of angled away from the shot stone.
Battle of nerves now for both teams.
下线3区下线擦一擦。Hurry， 3区下线擦到底。看力量。Hurry。
Another attempted corner freeze. Might be just a foot short, but on a pretty good angle. So stones are really stacking up.
덤퍼를 해야 되지 않나?
무조건 안쪽 맞아야 돼요. 빨간색이 어디 있어? 옆에 빨간색이랑 헷갈려.
이쪽에 밑에 있어.
범볼로 가자.
네.
마우스 많이 가는 게 차라리 나을 것 같아.
네. 언니 플랜 B는 앞에 거 봐주세요.
그게 나아. 바깥으로 맞는 것보다 앞에 가드가 나아.
4번 한번 할까 이거는? 네.
The original weight call was a control weight takeout, but then her teammate said, well, wait a minute, let's just play board weight and hit that one on the nose or just on the inside and roll behind the center guard.
웨이트 좋아!
계속 와.
Oh, how good is that? Great shot from Young Kim.
조금 세긴 셌어.
Flops it inside behind that center guard.
계속 볼만
Yeah.
하고 있었어.
Take the praise. That is a great shot. Look how close it comes to the guard. Just sneaks by. Nice little finish.
지금 힌트 자체가
Rolls right behind the center guard.
약간 넉넉한 게 나은 거 같아.
Yeah. Very nicely done.
살려도 돌아서 그냥 미리 딱 하면서
Look at that. All in a row. It's like a tightrope up the center line.
정말 14명 와.
Like a bead of pearls.
Rather heavy granite pearls, but yes.
Yeah, not making it easy for China here. Going to have to tread carefully.
哇，不擦了，
This one,
哇，不擦了，哇，不擦了，哇。
I wonder if it's picked up something.
Well, they certainly backed away from it, so that could very well be. Certainly well short of what they were going for.
出了就感觉
So another 40-pound granite bead added to the string of pearls along the center line.
자기 좀 뻗어.
Korea, 2 points up here. Don't want too much clutter along the center line, so looking to open it up. Perhaps looking for the double here. Try and get both the guards off the center line.
He's going to remove one. Spills away. Just one rather lonely but very well welded Chinese stone in the rings. There it is. Second shot. Corner frozen on the shot rock. 3 Korean stones in the rings. Korea's got last rock. Jiang Xindi.
56啊，67，那张片大的，
结束了，有结束了，
带着点，带着点。
哇，外侧没问题啊。
我感觉还行，而且减速了。
哇，外侧没问题，哇，外侧没问题，加油，加油，2。
Wants to duck around that stone in the front 8 foot and corner freeze that shot on the other side. Just tickling it. Again, just a small sweeping error. That could have been an awesome shot. Still a very good shot.
一个볼래？볼래一点前面那个。정타。力量手。
这掐了吗？
力量正好。정타살짝바깥。13秒86。살짝바깥으로받고이렇게맞아줘야 돼。
13秒86。
13秒86。 이렇게.
살짝 바깥.
살짝 바깥 거의 정타.
Think she's going to be looking for any action back into the pile, Sander, or just going to rip the front?
No, straight run back here. Yellow onto red, onto red, onto yellow, yellow. There's a lot of things can happen here.
Okay, well, get the record button ready on your personal recording device. This could be exciting.
Yeah, might just touch every single stone in play now with this one.
Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Boom! Look at them go. Fantastic. Very great shot there from Young Kim. Yeah, nothing to it. As Sander predicted, every stone in motion. Look at this. Fantastic.
打一个吧。
Totally changes the dynamic of the end with a single shot.
10秒就行。
Yeah, and that shot was possible because of the good angle.
加一个吧。对，我OK。因为他那个球一旦打掉的话，3対1。
对。来，加。
也是14秒。
力量就行，对。
Still the threat here for Team China. Korea's got the hammer, and those stones are now scattered well around the rings. And
6-7这个力量强大
leave your stone in a bad place here, and you could drop 3.
要带下降减速也不行选后面去呢一向后了肯定是后面往后擦一擦
哇，再等一等，再等一等，再减速。
Just look at the freeze the stone top 8, but plan B here coming all the way around. Actually, not a bad option.
All right. Worked out pretty well for Team China. Back 4 foot
给
and
人把劲儿给的太大了我觉得
probably at least a corner hidden. There you see it more than a corner hidden. That's half buried. Great shot.
저 13초 3이나.
웨이트 범퍼. 아니면
차야 될 것 같은데
낮춰야 될 것 같아.
더 낮추게.
낮춰야 될 것 같아
백.
좋아요
6번 할까?
So again, just locking in the weight. First call was bumper, but after some consultation from her teammate who said, I can't see that much, they settle on back 12-foot weight, so they're just going to play enough weight to push that yellow stone back in the house. Must be close. Look at this. Look at this. Nice shot there from Kyung-hae Kim. 2 beauties. What an end she's had. Korea lies 2.
Yeah, hard to do better than that, really. Cracking shot.
Gets the contact, and look at the roll she gets. Sticks around for second shot. It's behind that stone in the 12-foot. Now China is in the danger zone.
扫一扫场地5毛啊
这面再扎一个的话
Lining up the angle raise. We saw the amazing angle raise that Jiang Yilun played in the second end for a blank. This looks a lot similar in terms of the angle that she's looking at, but Sander, boy, if this one over curls, Korea could score 4.
Yeah. She does catch this in the right spot. She might get the double. Yellow onto red and onto that back red just played by Korea.
Has to keep it on the high side of the rock. That's the key thing here. Got the angle. Kills 1. Nudges her own. Spills to the back 8. Chinese hoping it might spin back towards the button, but stays in the 12-foot. Pretty good result. Got a great look at it on the replay.
네, 9표 좀 죽는 것 같아요. 그래서 좀 죽긴 죽어요. 아까 언니가 왜 쳐놨었지?
Hoping to catch that one a little fuller to stay behind the center guard, but at least reducing the damage.
경의 가드가 조금 바깥이야. 가드가 센터에서 조금 바깥이야. 조금만.
Pretty disciplined call here. I think some teams might be tempted to play the double on the 2 Ls on the wing and sit 3 and say, you know what?
Yeah, come get me.
Come around the center guard. If you don't make it perfect, we can score 4.
Yep.
But and Jung Kim thinking, you know, we only need 2 points here. Let's come around the center guard, take away the shot for China. Just make sure we get our 2. He slipped too deep though. China can freeze. No deeper than top 4, but this one is sliding.
This one's got some heat coming to rest now, but it will slide behind the tee line.
Does kind of finish in the worst spot possible. It's exactly where he didn't want to put it.
Yeah, 2 feet deep, and it's a get out of jail card now for China. If they can follow that stone down, just sit on top, they could wind up stealing this end. One of those situations, Sander, where it's maybe just too conservative. It's unusual to think of Eun Kim's team as being too conservative in their shot selection, but I agree with you. I think you double off the pair on the right-hand side and let your opponent try to make that shot and then go for your 4. But
yeah, I'd be tempted. You know, if she doesn't make the perfect draw, you score 4. If she does make the perfect draw, you still have the run back, which we know Eun Jung Kim can play very well. But yeah, just looking at the scoreboard, I think, thinking, you know, we're 2 up. Make sure we score.
Crucial, though, that this stone freezes, but look at it. It's going to be a bit wide, and it's, again, a little bit heavy. Gets contact and spills into the open, so an opportunity lost for China. They needed that stone to be sitting right in front of the Korean rock, but now it's a relatively straightforward nose hit for what looks to me like 3 points, Sander.
너무 티 많이 나겠다.
Yeah, this could be the game right here. Big mistake by Yelun. Can't afford to throw that heavy. Needs to bring the sweepers into play.
그래도 좀 돌긴 돌았는데 근데 생각보다 안 돌았잖아.
끝에는 또 생각보다 안 돌았어. 4반 5.
It's just the worst feeling as a sweeper, falling down a rock, knowing it's heavy and you can't do anything.
Well, sweepers backing off this one as well. Will this be the dagger blow in this game? Oh, safely navigates it through, and it is a score of 3 for Korea. Will that be decisive in the context of this game as we go to the 5th end break? A huge 3-point end for the Koreans. They lead it 7-2. bringing up the highlights of this match between Korea and China. In the third end, Chinese skip Zhang Yilun trying a tap, but she wrecks on the center guard, and it is a steal of 2 for Korea, giving them a 4-0 lead after the third. In the fourth, Zhang Yilun just has to draw it into the full 12-foot, eases it into the 8-foot, so China's back in the game. They're on the board with a deuce. Korea leading it 4-2. Then on the fifth, an attempted freeze by Zhang Yilun, a little bit heavy, and pops into the open for Eun Jung Kim. She removes it, and it's a score of 3 for Korea, giving them a solid 7-2 lead at the midpoint of this match. And there we have a look at our team statistics, and sometimes they say statistics are for losers, but this one, the stat sheet is telling us a quite clear story. Look at that shooting percentage for Team Korea. 92% as a team, 2 stolen points, dominant in every facet of the game so far, Sander.
Yeah, you know, curling's a tactical game. You could beat your opponent with a lower percentage, but when the deficit's so big, you know, you're losing.
Very, very impressive play from Eun Jung Kim, Kyung-ae Kim, Seon-young Kim, and Young-mi Kim, Team Korea.
Yeah, Team Korea actually hasn't been down at the halftime so far this week.
That's amazing. There are quality teams in this field, this Chinese team being one of them. World silver medalist Satsuki Fujisawa of Japan being another one. So to have that level of domination, here's Hyun Hui. She's having a solid game for Team China. She's at 88. But yeah, Team Korea rolling along. They're unbeaten coming into this game, and this one's not over yet, but they have got quite a hold on this match so far. 5 points up after 5. Look at that, 95% for the game for Young-mi Kim. Once again, like clockwork, 1 on the 4-foot, 1 half in the 12, perfectly lined up. Very nice play there from the Korean lead. And again, Sander, perhaps surprising for the Chinese down 5 that they're electing to play double takeouts rather than just moving stones around.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay in the 4th end, I think. 4 down, you know, just play simple and score 2 back, which they did. But yeah, but this point, 5 down, halfway through the game, I would be considering bringing my weight down and try and keep a few more stones in play. The 1 red does hang around though, so that's something that can come into play.
Yeah. Scoring in 2s is going to be difficult for China to come back and win this one. Kim Seong-young, 88% for the game. Oh, gets action on the top one. Fantastic. Great shooting. Great shooting. And all of a sudden, no guards. On the replay, look at the angles here. Catches the corner guard, clips the center guard, and they both spill out of the rings. Great shot.
Yeah, scoring 2s, you know, classic strategy is to score 2, give your opponent 1, score 2. That's not going to be enough for China. They need to score 3 or they need to steal. And stealing against this Korean team will be pretty hard, as they've only given up 1 steal in the entire championship so far.
My word, that is quality play. Corner guard replaced for the Chinese. Hun Jung Kim. We mentioned the Korean team nicknames. Her nickname is Annie. Holding the brush.
这你到哪儿都打飞啊？投到哪儿都打飞。
띠, 니네, 띠. 계속 와, 띠, 와야 돼. 와야 돼.
Terrific execution from Team Korea. Only one stone in play, that red Korean stone just biting the back 12 foot. Everything else is gone. Yao Minghui, 55% for the game.
还是大点，还是大点。3区能停，3区能停。下线，下线，来点 ，hurry。OK。
이거는 인콜로 갈게.
인콜로 가야겠네.
China doing all they can to try and generate some offense, but in the face of what so far in this end has been a pretty impressive display of clearing by the Koreans, it's pretty difficult to generate offense, isn't it, Sander?
Yeah, they've they're not going to make many mistakes on these fields. You know, on average, you know, if they've given up less than 3 points a game, so.
Just about every stat we trot out about this Korean team this week is in the jaw-droppingly awesome category, really. That is amazing.
Yeah, you're not going to win many games scoring less than 3 points. I can tell you that.
That's tough. Shang Di at 80%. She's having a solid game, but we saw that Kyung-hae was in the 90s. So even when you're throwing 80%, you're still being out-curled by 10% by your opponent. It's a tough afternoon at the office for Team China. Mentioned that this Korean team is their Olympic representative. There is another Olympic representative in the field, and that is Japan's Satsuki Fujisawa. Team Fujisawa struggling a bit this week, but they've got it on fire this afternoon. They've got a very, very substantial lead over Hong Kong, so they look like they're going to be in reasonable position to qualify for the playoff phase.
You know, back to keep the point of keeping rocks in play. You can see China was trying to freeze onto that stone that remained in play. You know, if they had more of them, more opportunities to maybe make something out of them. But
there we have the updates on the other scores. Japan 14-0 over Hong Kong, and Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand has scored a 3, so that's an important game for the Kiwi women, keeping their playoff hopes alive.
8区，外侧带啊！力量大点，我带你。8区啊！我8区啊！出不去了还往后插，9区往后插。
trying to come around this redstone here, use it as a guard.
Great weight, but probably half open. Chang Di. And there we see just a corner hidden.
조금 넉넉하긴 했는데 그냥 안 맞고 그냥 계속 안 들어오고 계속 오는. 여기.
Could hear Kyung-hae say, "Don't fool around, just peel it out." He's discussing what kind of weight they wanted to play on this shot.
Yeah, I don't think they really need to stick around here.
그냥 아예 가는 걸로.
If you sit 2, you might force China to their single, but you know you're up 5. If China blanks this end, I think you're still quite happy.
This one looks a bit tight. Are they going to get by that stone in the top of the house? Oh yes, nothing to it. How do you like that? Nice shooting by Eun Young Kim.
얼마야?
So impressive. This is a class display of curling, everybody.
还是选一个。
She had half a rock to look at.
한 중간에 한 이쯤 오다가 끝에 돼서 한 여기까지 빠지는 것 같아.
Made it look easy.
뻗긴 뻗는데 내 인턴이 타이트한 건 아는데 또 뻗어서 또 괜히 뻔하게 밖으로 차는 것보다는.
So once again, Jiang Yilun with no other option than to try and draw around that stone in the rings.
这个顶先带着点儿，小心。顶线，外侧没问题。外侧没问题，顶线，外侧没问题。
Good looking rock.
二顶线。
Once again, have they left it too late? Yes, they do. They feather it. I can't believe it. They've made so many sweeping errors. They had opportunities to
그것도 괜찮고.
get something around and something buried and just missed the sweeping read on that one, Sander.
可以说不够过了，说顶线擦一擦。
Yeah, that's inexcusable, really.
我这手给我看还够过。
Gonna have to
这样看靠这边。
be a little more sharp.
我觉得你
Better communication if they want to win this.
자기 자꾸 노멀인데 약간 롤까지. 되긴 될 것 같은데.
As a consequence of just tickling that top stone, it sits wide in the open, so much more straightforward shot this time for Eun Jung Kim. 91% at the skip position. That's pretty good shooting, folks. So, pretty good. Rolls it towards the center line, and Korea lies too. Well, if you're a young curler or if you're a curling coach and you wanted to have an instructional video about how to play an end when you've got a lead, store this one away. Team Korea executing to perfection. Here is Jiang Yilun facing two. Last shot of end number 6 has to hit and stick around to score, and it'll only be a single point. She's got contact right on the nose. Nice shot there from Jiang Yilun, and it is a score of 1 for China. But really, moral victory for Team Korea. China gets the 1, but Korea, after 6 ends of play, is leading it 7-3.
사이드로 뺄까? 지금은 4점 차이. 그냥 빼고.
北大点，3、4、
3、4，进营了啊！等减速啊！减速了，减速3。减底，hurry。OK， 好强。
Center guard from Yanhui getting us underway here in the 7th end. You're enjoying live curling from Erina, Australia. Hans Frauenlob here with Sander Rolvag at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. Enjoying the women's competition this afternoon. Defending champion Korea versus China. Three teams will advance from this competition to participate in the World Women's Curling Championships to be held in March 2018 in North Bay, the province of Ontario in Canada.
Yeah.
下线带一带呢？
哇，
123，他真是
哇，
太比你的刷子过，还得过。对。
China doing all they can do to
OK。
set up a steal. 2 center guards. Bit close together though. Still in the free guard zone part of the end. So at this point the Koreans can't throw the double clear.
이게 이렇게. 똑같이 이렇게 갈까 그냥? 어차피 근데 이렇게 하나 맨 여기 거의 비슷하게 올 것 같긴 해.
가려면 약간 센터 무조건 들어가야 될 것 같잖아요. 맞죠? 이쪽 약간 에이트만
And Sander, at this point in the game, we often start talking about the end game and trying to set up to have control of last rock and the even ends. But at this point for Team Korea with a 4-point lead, that's not really a consideration, is it? It's mainly just to be able to keep scoring.
Yeah, just score big or go home. It's, you know, time's running out. You probably see China go hard for the steal in the center. 2 center guards is evidence of that.
Indication for the freeze or the trying to draw in front of the shot rock. So absolutely, Sander. China is all in for the steal. One of these situations where they could steal the end and survive, or they could drop a bundle and this game could end right here.
Hurry, Jandy, hurry, hurry, 再来 ，hurry, hurry. OK.
Well, once again, plan B, but a pretty good one. Goes around the Korean stones and into the back of the forefoot. So now it's Eun Kim asking her second player, Son Young Kim, to have a go at blasting these center guards. She's got one, just one.
OK， 2区。加油，哪一个？
China all out for the steal here in the 7th, and considering the game position, as difficult as it is, stealing the game out is really about their only realistic path to the victory, I think, Sander.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, Korea's only given up 1 steal, so just the stats are stacked against you, I think, and the odds.
Yeah, absolutely. Difficult to steal at the best of times, let alone string. What for the Chinese would have to be 5 in a row together. That one comes short and comes out of play. The stone has to go all the way across that hog line to be in play, and that one didn't, so it comes out. Gifting an opportunity now for Korea to tidy things up and remove that other center guard. Once again, Son Young Kim having an excellent game.
亮小婷前面行，粘一个。OK。
站
3、4、5都行。
And you see the 2 skips having a look. You can almost tell by the expressions what the scoreboard is.
OK， 4、5， 5区啊。
应该是4区啊。应该是4区，我觉得。
5区，线路没问题啊，顶线。3、4。5区 ，hurry， 擦，25区线路非常好 ，hurry。
Last minute sweep there for a little bit of extra curl.
이걸로 보는 게 나을라나? 웨이트 범퍼. 범퍼.
언니 딱 보이는데.
딱 보여? 컨트롤?
네, 컨트롤 좋을 것 같아.
거의
See
정상화되는데.
that
네, 살짝 이쪽.
attempted guard
아까 여기 잡고.
covers the intern to the shot, but
나갔거든 아예. 조금 타이트하게 잡고 닦아오는 거.
살짝 도는 것 같아.
여기까지.
약간 도는 것 같아.
Korea says, okay, just off nose, run it straight back, and you could be lying 3. Won't even care too much, I don't think, Sander, if they lost their back rock on the run back and just left themselves lying 2, but in front of the tee line.
Yeah, again, when you're up by a few points, just make sure there's not that many stones in play. But they will stick around.
Korea lies 3. Making it look easy.
오케이. 10秒.
Junction D. Removes 1, but blows it by the shot rock. Dangerous rock, though, for Korea, so
똑같이.
they'll deal with it.
컨트롤로 할게. 웨이트 노멀.
아니야, 컨트롤.
컨트롤 똑같이 와.
Well, just over curls and one of the rare mistakes we've seen this afternoon from Team Korea.
Yeah, big miss there. Not the way to miss. I mean, much better off throwing that a bit wide and just clipping the yellow. You could make the argument that you could have just played the peel weight at it and just safely removed it. Didn't really have to stick around there. And all of a sudden, a big opportunity for China here. There's almost a slight stagger on the front 2 stones. Might be tough to run that red stone back too if China comes around. But just going to throw a guard here.
Okay, it's interesting. So the way they're set up, Sander, would you not be tempted maybe to just throw another one right on top of the shot rock?
Yeah, I would. I guess the thinking here is throw the guard, let Korea peel it, and then come around on your last one.
Right.
Just limiting the opportunities for Korea to tidy up.
哇，等等，暂停，先去跑进去，暂停，先跑进去，嘿，
Needs to cross the hog line though.
Oh my goodness. Have they left another one short of the hog line in this end? Yes, they have. Oh my goodness. Zhang Xilun. Can't believe it.
That should not happen at this level.
When you've been throwing into the rings for the whole game and playing runbacks and things, you get asked for that first time to throw a guard, and sometimes mentally you just dial it back, way back, and that's obviously what happened there.
이렇게 맞고 플랜 B가 이렇게 되잖아. 그러면은 이따가 내가 저걸로 런백을 때려도 되고. 근데 만약 들어오다가 이렇게 막혔는데 얘가 가드를 치면 너무 할 게 없지 않아 내가. 가드 하다가 막힌 건 좀 별로인 것 같아. 지금 들어 여기 조금 빡빡하다.
여기가 안 나가는 것 같아.
이건 너무 어렵겠나? 이거 아예 때려 부는 거는.
그건 각이 안 나와.
아니면 그냥 이거 아니면 이걸로 해서 빼는 거 이렇게.
이거 지금 이거 있다는데.
아 이거?
컨트롤로.
근데 이게 진짜 여기 완전 딱 보여. 거의 딱이야.
딱.
좀 어려울 것 같긴 한데.
컬이 있긴 있어요.
근데 그러니까 내 말은 이렇게 드로우를 하다가
짧으면-
막히면 별로고 이걸 막고 플랜 B로 아니면 여기까지 가면 내가 이걸 이따가 령백으로 되고 아니면 아예 지금 스플릿을 하든지. 스플릿?
근데 만약에 스플릿
그냥
했을
이걸로
때
아예
여기에
다이렉트로?
넣으면은 더 할 게 2점 되니까.
내가 더블을 무조건 치긴 쳐야 돼 마지막 샷은. 아니면 얘로
아니면
컨트롤?
Really involving the entire team in that conversation, Sander.
리리즈가 조금 약하긴
Yeah.
약한 거.
Debating the merits of
결과 마지막
trying to make a
거는
play on that
첫 번째
stone
건
in the
컨트롤인데
top
두
12
번째
foot
건
and
컨트롤이었어요.
straight back. And Young making the point said, okay, if I feather the front guard, that's not a disaster.
첫 번째 거보다는 좀 약해가지고 더 넣은 것 같아.
약간 물릴 것 같은데 아직.
Again, the thing you don't want to do is be
be
wide.
약간 아주 되는데.
execution tolerance here if anything's a little bit tight and crashing the guard. I think they can make that straight back. Gonna have to shave the guard to do it though.
Yeah, it looks tight from here, but yeah, we'll see.
Not quite there for the run back, but she does leave her own stone sitting in the 12 foot to maybe run back on the last for a saver if she has to, and open up the path to the shot rock.
I think the problem there is the shooter kind of takes away the draw for Jung Kim.
It does.
China ever over curls here, maybe come fully buried around the guard. You know, the button will be open for the draw, but because of that red stone, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, you'd almost have to tap it as opposed to draw.
I think the perfect spot for China here is probably just nibbling the forefoot, about half checked around the guard.
Half around the guard, yes, I agree.
Just put a stagger on. That way, Korea can only see half of both rocks in behind the guard.
So can Jiang Yilun recover from that previous stone where she hogged an attempted guard? Trying to get this one biting the forefoot half around the guard and really, for the first time in the game, put some pressure on Team Korea.
Just waiting for this one to curl.
No, it's way out there.
Yeah,
Here it comes now.
Does not have the line.
Straddles the center line, but it's wide open, so chance here for Jung Kim. Straight back double for 3. And you'd have to say, if she makes this, Team China might decide that that's enough. There we get a great look at it from the shooter's end. 2 ways to make it. Slightly across nose and drive it on an angle back toward where Kyung-hae is standing with the brush, or you can hit a little bit high side and go across the top. Attempted double takeout. Final stone. Oh, look at that fantastic shot from Jung Kim. Double takeout for 3. Sensational. And is that the dagger in the heart of the Chinese team? What a fantastic shot from Team Korea.
더 탈탈하게 해봐도 될 것 같지 않아?
진짜 오프예요.
아 진짜? 아 진짜? 나 나쁘지 않은 것 같아.
나도 괜찮다 생각했어. 그냥 옆에서 보기에는.
그냥 나쁘지.
Firmly in control of this one. 3 points on the board.
끝에 돌긴 도는 것 같아요, 센터.
After 7 ends of play, it is Korea 10 and China 3.
내 릴리 자체가 아웃에 좀 빠지니까 그래서 지금 궤도가 가다가 끝에 이제 좀 들어가겠다 나 그 생각으로 돼서.
버릴까요? 10대 3이요.
아니 나오는 게 자체가 많이 나온 것 같아?
네, 나오는 게 넉넉하고 릴리즈가
반개 이상?
아니면 그거
Well, unsurprisingly, with a 7-point lead, Team Korea saying, all right, no guards, no nothing. We're just going to just throw them through. So that's stone deliberately thrown through the house by Youngmi Kim. China is going to play the 8th end, and perhaps they're thinking, okay, if we can score a 3, maybe somehow we stay in the game. But almost a bit surprising that they're carrying on.
Yeah, take 3, steal 2, steal 2, steal 1.
That's a pretty tall order, isn't it?
Yeah. So the only explanation I can think of is China just wanting to finish on a high note here and put a score up on the board, and
Well, sometimes you need to take something positive out of a game, and that might be the thinking for Team China. But yeah, just thinking back to look at the shooting percentages. Both leads have had a very good game, actually. Youngmi Kim at 91 and Yan Hui at 89. So both leads have gotten things going for their teams. But yeah, the hammer blow from Jung Kim. Beautiful double takeout for the 3. Yeah, this Korean team, again, continues to impress.
yeah, both leads throwing well, but it's not only about throwing. If you're a lead, it's also about the sweeping. And I know Yan Hui and the other Chinese girls has definitely made some sweeping errors in this game.
That's very true.
There's no score for that.
No, there isn't. But you're absolutely right, Sander. There's been some line read errors from Team China and some opportunities to bury come-around draws that just haven't come off, and those things do add up. For the Korean team, we've seen very little of that.
Yeah, and that's why if you play a 90% game, it's very often thanks to your teammates, and
Absolutely
if you play
right.
a 60% game, sometimes that's also
It's
because of
thanks
your
to your
teammates.
teammates.
Yeah, it's a team sport.
Absolutely is. So there's no question what the game plan is now for Team Korea, although that is an unexpected miss from Sun Young Kim. She's been clearing stones so well, but that one, little up, little wide, and it blows right by.
Yeah, just a lack of focus there. You score 3 in the 7th end, you think the game's over. You're maybe surprised that your opponent wants to carry on, and then, it might just be all frustrating.
Maybe they're thinking of dinner rather than finishing the game.
Yeah, that will happen sometimes.
Team China showing their fighting spirit. They're not giving up. They've thrown 2 corner guards now, and chance to use them. Good looking stone here. Nice shot. From Yang Mingwei. She's been out curled by Sun Young by some margin, but that was a nice come around draw there. Back on the normal program for Sun Young, makes a nice clear on that one, so recovers from the error on her previous shot.
Yeah, well, with that one mistake, there is a 3 possibility for China. Come around this corner. Hope that Korea peels the open stone. Then you come around the corner once more.
Play in the 8th end. They're scheduled for 10. Nice execution in this end from Team China.
약간 이게 나을 것 같다. 근데 웨이트 노멀.
네.
좀 뻗는 것 같아.
네.
Kyung-hae Kim.
노멀아.
기다려. 오마랍. 영미. 오마랍. 선영이. 선영이. 오마랍. 가야 돼.
center line.
Yeah, just enough to get shots done, and China will have to move it at some point.
OK，
But for now, just coming around the corner again.
我实在比大人给你放一点点。
That's definitely the right call.
Got the corner guards. You definitely want to use them.
7、8、5、6、6、7、6、7啊！
顶线 Harry， 亮小 Harry， 嗨，
Sweepers are really working this one. Have they got the legs? Are they by? This one's over curling as well.
可以下可以 Harry， 哇 ，OK，
Offers protection, but disappointment there. They would have liked that one in the rings.
这儿有点严了。
Tough to sweep those rocks.
뒤에 것도 봐주세요. 아? 뒤에 것도 봐주세요.
아,
You know, when you
너무 얇게는 좀 별로일 것 같아.
어디 봐주면 제일 좋은데?
아, 아니다. 좀 많이 얇아야 된다.
얇게
거의
해야 될 것 같아.
거기?
Here, comparison.
얇고
아니면 그냥
Nothing to choose.
보는 게 나을 것 같아.
네.
Shooting percentage wise, Hyunghae's shooting percentage dropped a little bit from earlier in the game, but Zhang Xindi's been solid for the Chinese at third. That one seems to start a little bit as well. Lots of weight though. Kills one.
actually underswept,
Yeah.
잘했어.
curled a bit too much. I was hoping to get some action on the other guard as well.
애매하긴 한데 그냥 닦았어야 됐을라나? 닦았으면 저거 좀
挺线啊，
还是我，是我。
4、5擦擦，
你看力量，
下面没问题啊，只是力量。4圈，
我，还
哇
5、6，
哇，
可以。6、7、8，往前
这个给的大吧？
This one's sliding. Needs to come to rest and need it in the rings.
行吧，已经吧。
Just pulls up.
올라. 일단 그냥 깨는 거는 그냥 깨기만.
There's Xindi surveying her work. Did it hang around? Yes, it did. Two behind the guard. China's got something cooking here.
그냥 깨기만 하는 게 나은 것 같아. 그리고 얘들이 저쪽으로 넣으면 내 마지막 샷에서 더블을 치든지 아니면 그게 나을 것 같아.
Those two yellow stones belong to China. Right behind that corner guard.
비네. 영미 아니 띠띠띠 가도 될 것 같은데.
When Jung Kim makes the safe play, clearing the corner.
이 라인 너무 넉넉해?
There we see the shooting percentages, and there's a wide gulf at the fourth position. And Jung Kim, 86%, 96% on her draws. Jang Hyun Lee struggling at 50%. As we said earlier in the show, she's had some high degree of difficulty shots, but Sander really, that's really not going to do it for keeping your team in at this level of competition, is it?
No, she's going to have to up her game in future contests. But, you know, when we get to the playoffs, it's a whole other competition, so you can get a fresh start.
Absolutely right. Brand new tournament once you get to the medal round. And this Chinese team has qualified for the medal round. They're, well, done pretty much all they can do to set this one up, Team China. Very nice job in this end. We wondered whether they would continue after the 7th, trailing by 7, but they've set themselves up for a chance for a 3. Jung Kim trying to reduce the damage, trying to make a double takeout. She'll happily give China 2. On and off. They can't be too far away. There's one, but they jam.
Yeah, I was just hanging out wide and they wanted to try and get the double the other way. Just too late to make that call.
Well, even though Korea has got shot rock out of all of that, it is an open hit now for China to score 3. China trying to generate the comeback of the century here. This wouldn't get them all the way there, but it would certainly make it a little more interesting. Really have to have this one. Can't afford to roll out. Perfect. There you go, folks. China scores 3. They're hanging in there. After dropping a 3, China bounces right back with 3 of their own, and after 8 ends of play, they've closed it up. It is Korea 10 and China 6. Play now on end number 9. On a sunny Tuesday afternoon in Erina, Australia. Hans Frauenlob here with Sander Rolvag at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. China versus Korea. Korea unbeaten so far in this tournament, carrying a commanding lead, but then China in the 7th end scoring a 3-point end. A little premature to start calling this the comeback of the century, but if the Chinese could ever steal a pair in this end, Sander, could be setting up the most unlikely of victory stories. Trying a tick shot here. Stone's in the free guard zone, so it can't be removed from play, but Youngmi Kim does a nice job of repositioning the stones. That's called a tick shot.
It does leave some shrapnel up there, though.
Yeah, rocks in play. We've talked about how the Chinese team will need lots of stones in play to have a chance.
Hurry, 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 hurry. Hurry.
Now the benefit of playing the tick shot, you can't remove your opponent's stone, but you can remove your own.
아니면 이렇게 때릴까? 맞지? 얇으면 맞긴 맞아, 이렇게까지. 아니 그냥 해. 좀 더 꺾여 맞고.
Youngmi Kim is going to be asked to play a peel, removing her own shot.
Yeah, trying to at least keep one side open here. This one over curling. One leaves another center guard on.
Roll.
Well, definitely something to play around with for China.
Yao Mingwei trying to add to that wall of granite building in front of the rings. tuck it around. That looks pretty good.
4-4.
We'll keep it high in the house, if not short of the house. That is a pretty good shot. Here we go.
Yeah, kind of acts like a guard, but also a counter.
Exactly.
You can definitely come around that stone.
인터는 너무 얇아야 될 것
아,
같아.
이거 볼래? 좀 얇긴 많이 얇아야 될 것 같긴 한데.
Korea thinking to maybe play the double peel on the guards here and run that red stone back onto the yellow. Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
아웃턴으로 두껍게 맞아야 될 것 같은데.
이쪽으로 얇게 맞으면 뒤에 거 맞아요.
이렇게 얇게
Even
맞아서.
Korea has 8 minutes remaining on their time clock.
이렇게 맞고 이걸 뒤로 이렇게 간다고.
2 ends to play. That should be plenty of time.
아니면
Both
이것부터
teams
먹든지.
네.
still have their timeout in their pocket as well.
Oh, changed the call here, actually.
Gonna go high side. Interesting.
Yeah, just peel the one guard, I think. Just keeping it simple. Didn't mind the first call. I'm not sure if you could... You're not risking much.
Hard to make it worse, really.
Yeah, you worst case, you peel one guard anyway. But, fine.
One guard is removed, and China will almost certainly replace it with something up front. Good calm decision, though, from the Koreans.
I would perhaps be tempted to come around in everything here. Just seeing how the center guard's just halfway. It's hard to put another guard there without leaving a double.
Yeah, they would like some separation.
Those look like they are coming around.
6取力量可以了，哇，导演能力量，6取力量没问题。
Trying to bury it. Buried maybe half.
Waited for a line, maybe a little too long.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to draw that a little deeper because you might want to put another stone on top after. Or later on. Trying to run back here. It helps a little bit.
Yeah, removes 2 of those stones from the clutter.
3、4都可以啊。
Sun Young has sent it a pretty good game. We saw her miss a peel attempt in the previous end, but bouncing back well.
And again, just trying to come half buried around here, top 12. You know, if you over bury, the shot stone is open. If you don't come around the guard, the shooter's open. So just trying to get everything half checked.
哇，我觉得量有点大呢。4圈，还可以啊，顶线。哇，不杀了，哇，下线了，哇，哇，
别掉了，别掉了。
哇。
I'm a bit afraid of this over curling now, so just leaving it.
OK， 好球。
Not a bad spot.
Yeah, pretty useful.
아니 뒤에 좀 보이는데.
时候你带着，别让他带着。啊？线路 OK 的时候你带着，别让他带着。
근데 앞에 근데 그 첫 번째는 또 똑같이 들어가잖아요. 첫 번째는 네가 해.
아, 하고 깨는 게 나을 것 같아.
네.
약간 바깥. 이쪽으로.
This game has certainly caught Korea's attention again.
Yeah. Push the thoughts of dinner out of the mind and return the focus onto the ice right here, because the Chinese have not given up by any stretch.
Oh, the worst possible outcome there.
Trying to make a double clear, but look where that red stone was left. It is guarding the shot rock perfectly, so slightly nervous time. They're trying to run that red onto the yellow and get some action, but just blows it through the hole. And look at that, the red stone is protecting the shot rock. Kyung-hae knows it. Says, I don't need that. China, on the other hand, saying, okay, green light, go. Let's blast another one in here. We could maybe steal 2, maybe 3.
哇，外侧，
looking rock.
快来快点，擦着那个，擦着那个。
Very nice.
好球！
Yeah, pretty good draw. But that's why they wanted that first one a little deeper. To get both the rocks into the forefoot. There will be some room for Jung Kim to draw to with their final rock, but of course trying to open things up first.
Jung just looking at the angles where she wants to get the contact on the front stone.
여기 필.
Peel weight indicated. This will not be light. Don't want to overthrow it though.
기다려. 기다려야 돼. 기다려.
It's got one, but only one. Well, decision time now for China. Where would you put it, Sander?
I think you probably just replace it. Of course, maybe just slightly more tucked in there so the run back's not available. And then on your last one, come around everything. Sit three.
这儿都行。
对，这点吧，白边吧，
白边稍微收一点。我下不来，我真的下不来。
这点
再收一点，收一。
还收一点，这白边切里。
You get slightly greedy and think about just a tiny bite?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I don't think it.
白边我觉得有点下不
I
来。
think line's more important here. And of course, if you can nibble the rings.
Bonus.
And yeah, I believe Jung Kim perhaps having to draw against 3 or 4.
四区稍微别一点，稍微能搭一点就好。嗯。
Keep it clean. They've been losing rocks because they've been breaking late, but I think this one's got plenty of weight. Worried about over curling now. Comes to rest, just straddling the center line, just touching it.
有点掉线了，嗨。
Just over curls a tad.
稍微提点量，差不多，正好那位
Maybe
置。
exposing just a corner of the shot rock.
再擦的话掉线了。
没法擦，这量再擦怕下线了。
没事，他主要是站。
Timeout being called now by Team Korea.
站到边上他有找。
I'm going to survey it, and that's a bit of a teaser. The shot rock is just very slightly exposed, and sometimes that encourages teams to go chasing the shot rock when maybe that's not the right call.
일단 보이는 거 하나부터 제거하고 점수차 있으니까 일단은 하든지 아니면은 드로우.
그거는 제일 마지막에 해야 되지 않을까, 들어오는?
어?
들어오는 제일 마지막에 해야 되지 않을까? 이것부터 한 게 나을 것 같아.
근데 조금 애매하게 보이고.
아니면 이걸로 이렇게 칠까요?
아예
쳐서 마지막에 들어오길이라도.
그냥 드로우.
네.
Coaches are allowed onto the field of play during a timeout, so the Korean coaching staff is coming down for a chat.
Or run back.
Make that double field.
Double field.
지금 근데 은전이 하셔서 만약에 이걸 열려보면 안 되면은 I like run back this way. 이거 해도 이렇게 하고 그다음에 아니면 들어오고
근데 더블이 되면 제일 좋긴 한데 더블이 안 됐을 때는.
If you get this one off the forefoot, if you pick it out, she comes around again, then you've got the forefoot to draw to here.
차라리.
Because she's coming around again.
근데 이걸 하면은 우리 야들이 일로 들어오면 우리는 일로 들어올 길이 없잖아. 이렇게 하면 아니면 탭을 보든지 아니면 그렇게 해야 되는 거 아니야? 최대한
I think if
1점만
you hit
주는 거.
that, you got the in-turn draw too. You can try that run back by Sonny's foot. You like that?
근데 이것도 뭐 해야 좋은 거지.
그니까.
매일 똑같아 근데.
You're going to have to draw on your last one.
아니면 이게 제일 낫지 않아? 그래서 만약에 컴라운드가 잘 되면 이렇게 드로우해서 최대한 1점만 주는 걸로 하는 게 나을 것
아니면 이거 이렇게
같은데.
해서 하나 빼고 드로우 길이 생기긴
아니 근데
생기니까.
잘 생각해야 하는 게 만약에 이거
They've
그냥
considered at least
날려갔는데
4 different
얘한테
shots.
드로우 했는데 우리가 드로우에 될지
Why not?
확실히
It
모르니까 이거
opens
못
up both
넣으면
draws
그게 더
then.
문제야.
근데 다 길이 둘 다 있잖아. 아 이게 맞는 것 같은데.
You got that one.
저거 까고 얘가 드로우 했는데 내가 이거 어차피 드로우 길이 없으면 그게 또 똑같긴 똑같아.
약간 여기 맞아도 일단 퍼프코 하나는 내보내는 게 나을 것 같아.
Okay.
Timeout is over, so the team is on the clock again. And after the decision making, they talked about a double clear, running red on the yellow, the front stones. Coach Peter Gallant said, if you're going to play on the shot rock, throw peel weight at it. Don't fool around with down weight. Just try to remove it, because you're going to have to draw on your last. But I think the shot that Young was preferring right from the outset was slashing in that yellow corner guard onto the pile and opening up at least one side for a final draw if she had to. And so that seems to be what they've settled on, Sander.
Yeah, I don't think this is the easiest shot to get one of the yellows out of the house, but yeah, like you said, will open the intern side and will leave a shot for score.
Not laying a brush to it. Needs to curl, but I think it's only going to get a piece. Will it leave it on the ring? On the rings. Does open up that side, but great chance now for China to lock a third stone in there and say to Eun Kim, okay, gonna make you look at 3.
내려오기만 내려오면 괜찮긴 한데.
Well, after the 7th end, we'd written this game off. We thought it was over, but all of a sudden, this game's got more than a flicker of life. It's got a pretty healthy pulse. Jung Kim wondering what might have been. How did we get to here? We're 7 up, and all of a sudden, I might be looking at 3.
I wonder where they're trying to place this one.
I'm thinking half around, just on top of the 8. And say to her, come get it.
Still leaves quite a lot of room for Korea, though.
It does.
I'd be tempted to come around both the yellows.
Come to the back of the forefoot, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yep, that's definitely an option.
力量可以，可以下线。我等一等，5、6，我。
It's not coming back 4. It will be sitting in the front 8 foot. Half around.
I think that's what they wanted.
That's definitely where they wanted it, and so there it is.
It's just that
China's line 3.
You would expect Jung Kim to at least draw the 8 foot here, so I'd just be tempted to maybe even throw the out turn, draw, find the 4 foot, sit 2 in the 4 foot, and just close the scoring area for Jung Kim. But of course, still possible to miss this one altogether.
It absolutely is. Jung's been throwing hits, double takeouts, guards. She hasn't had to draw the rings very often in this game, Sander, and she's going to need a piece of the button to score 1 and a piece of the 4 foot to cut them down to 1. Test of the warrior spirit of Jung Kim. Last stone. End number 9.
Look at her sweepers telling her to give it a little more. Needs to curl.
Now they're jumping it. Have they left it too long? Oh, how good is that? What a class draw from Jung Kim. Double checking, but it looks like a score of 1 to Korea. Yes, the confirmation. Wow, clutch shooting there. What a wonderful shot from Jung.
Good fight back from China, and I'm sure they'll take that with them and perhaps have just boosted their confidence a little bit for the next couple of games. But all in all, Korea, of course, the best team here today.
Yeah, clearly Korea. Deserving winners, no doubt, and they keep their perfect record intact. going to 9-0. Eun-jung Kim, Kyung-hae Kim, Seon-young Kim, and Young-mi Kim, Team Korea, are your winners here on this Tuesday afternoon, the penultimate round of the women's event here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. They will finish the tournament ranked #1, and we'll await to find out who their semi-final opponent is going to be. China, they also have earned their place in the playoffs, and they will likely face Japan, but all will be determined later this evening. But for now, this is our final score confirmation. Korea are 11-6 winners in this one. Highlights from our women's match between Korea and China. And number 5, Korean skip Eun-jung Kim has a hit to potentially score 3, just navigates it past her own stone at the back, and Korea have a solid 7-2 lead at the midpoint of the game. In the 7th end, China's lying 2, but they're in the open. Eun-jung Kim, can she make the double? Makes it perfect. And Korea scores another 3-point end, and they're up by 10-3. Thought that Korea would run away and hide, but China fighting back. Final stone on its way for Jiang Yilun. Chance to score 3 of her own. And she does. Hits and sticks. China fighting back. It's Korea 10 and China 6. Now in the 9th, China continuing to fight. Look at that. 3 Chinese stones behind the center guard. So Eun-jung Kim has to draw full 4-foot. Great sweeping from her team. Just pull it into the 4-foot. It is a score of 1 for Korea, and they run out. They keep their perfect record intact. They are the winners by an 11-6 score.
아니 차라리 그게 좀만 더 아예 돌았으면.
Now let's meet our winning skip.
A very good first 6 ends by Korea today, but then China started to come back a little bit. What happened?
게임을 잘 끌어가다가 갑자기 중국이 지금 3점을 가지고 왔잖아. 왜 그렇게 된 거 같냐?
이제 아이스 리딩에 있어서 조금 더 아이스가 좀 뻗게 바뀌었는데 거기서 필의 미스가 조금 있으면서 좀 어렵게 된 것 같아요. 네.
The timing, ice is a little bit changed, so we cannot find the pill weight and pill line. That's why the changing the game.
Otherwise, you're undefeated. Back in 2014, you were undefeated through to the final, but lost to China. What will you do to make sure that doesn't happen?
결승에서 우리가 중국한테 졌었잖아. 그 일이 안 일어나려면 어떻게 해야 할 것 같은지. 14년 가로이죠.
일단 게임 전체적인 운영에 있어서 좀 더 집중을 해야 하고, 그리고 오늘 같은 게임처럼 마지막까지 더 집중하고 우리의 샷 하나하나를 더 정교하게 해야 될 것 같아요.
We don't want that dessert, so we try more the focus, the each end by end. So she need more trying. She best. She can do best.
All right, thank you and congrats.
Thank you.
Perfection for Team Korea, unbeaten in the round robin. Hope you've enjoyed the action here from Erina, Australia. On behalf of our entire production crew, for my colleague Sander Rolvag, I'm Hans Frauenlob. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon from Korea.
거의 다 들어왔어요.
약간 뒤로 가긴 가도 돼서.
아니야. 가는데 내가